let's turn to one of the most evil moves, I think, in U.S. history ever, right? I think it's fair to say.
Yeah. Absolutely repulsive.
The Trump State Department revoking medical visas for Palestinian children wounded and maimed in Israeli attacks on Gaza.
And also, we should remind people that, as Dr. Tanya said, and we've had her on the show, she's amazing. One of the most heartbreaking things I've heard, and that's hard to choose because there's so many, but was that Gaza has created a new term in medicine and treatment, which is WCN, Wounded Child No Surviving Family, WCNSF.
Yeah, and Gaza also now is home to the largest cohort of child amputees in the world, because Israel has torn the limbs off so many children in Gaza as part of its indiscriminate bombing. And by the way, who then have to be operated on without proper
anesthetics
and anesthetics, just to compound the evil and the sadism. So
Marco Rubio, a clip of a child, I saw a clip on Twitter of a child whose remaining limbs are just end in blood, and they're right below the shoulder. And I can't believe this. It is so inhumane. And someone then, of course, wrote underneath this is on Twitter, something about Hamas. Anyone's doing that, you are such sadists. You have such rotten hearts. And the fact that you cannot be upset by this is just, it really is. There is absolutely no justification for people who think that this is tolerable. You are going to hell. I hope hell exists so that you can go there. And I wish I could swap those people out for that kid.
If we were to mentally process just all the atrocities that Israel's committed against the people of Gaza with our support, you wouldn't be able to do anything all day, because it's just so overwhelmingly, incomprehensibly evil and sadistic. It's the most evil thing I've ever seen by far. It continues. And so now the latest move by the Trump administration is to ban a small number of children from Gaza coming here for medical treatment after they've been seriously wounded and maimed in U.S.-backed Israeli strikes on Gaza. And the impetus for this was a right-wing influencer named Laura Loomer complaining about seeing images of Palestinian children being greeted at the airports by people welcoming them to get medical treatment. So Laura Loomer freaked out, called the White House, and then Marco Rubio announces, sorry kids from Gaza, you're no longer welcome here.
I mean, what can you imagine the ghoul level from this person? She was triggered. She was upset by seeing Gazan children being greeted. This woman deserves to go to hell again. I just wish I could round these people up and lock them up. And that's actually too kind for them. But I can't say what I really want to do on YouTube.
It's the true face of Zionism, which does not see Palestinians whose land was stolen by Israel as equal human beings, to the point where Palestinian kids getting medical treatment is deemed to be a threat in the minds of these people. They really need serious mental help. Okay, let's go to Marco Rubio. He was on, as we've seen, on all the Sunday morning news shows, Meet the Press, ABC's This Week. He was on Fox News as well. And the only show to ask him about his policy of banning child amputees from Gaza for medical treatment from the U.S. was Face the Nation. And watch what happens, because even this question is, and the way it's handled is totally repellent.
Why did the State Department just announce that they're halting visitor visas for all Gazans coming here for medical aid? Why would some of these kids, for example, who are coming to hospitals for treatment be a threat?
Well, first of all, it's not just kids. It's a bunch of adults that are accompanying them. Second, we had...
Oh, so you mean the child amputees aren't flying across the world by themselves, and there's an adult with them, and so therefore we have to, and they must be suspicious because they're escorting a maimed child to get medical treatment? I mean, how does she let him give this answer without interrupting him? It's insane. So the child amputee should fly by themselves because there's an adult with them who, because they're Palestinian or Arab, they must be evil. just like the racism and
Yeah.
bigotry it's just beyond comprehension, and it's used to justify denying medical treatment, denying entry to a maimed child.
It's just, I mean, again, like you said earlier, it's like right when you think it couldn't get any worse. I really hope hell exists, because that would give me so much solace. I mean, I want them to be miserable on earth now, and I want them to be locked up, but it is just beyond. It's almost like you can't make this up. It's almost like if I read this in a script, in a screenplay, I would say it's too over the top, and that even the US wouldn't do that.
You'd like to think that like there's some psychological toll deep down in these people's like repressed minds, but even there, I mean, look, Henry Kissinger lived to a very old age after helping to kill millions of people. So this idea that these people even pay a personal price, it's unfortunately, human beings are very complicated. You could be a wonderful person, or you could be the face of evil. And unfortunately, we're ruled by people who are the face of evil. And anyway, speaking of which,
and also, I just want to say that I actually think that Kissinger wouldn't have done this. Like, I just think this is a step beyond even Kissinger. If only for like real politique reasons. I think he would just think it was such a bad look. And again, I know Kissinger has tons of blood on his hands, but I just think this is different.
Reach from multiple congressional offices asking questions about it. And so we're going to reevaluate how those visas are being.
Yes, Randy Fine, the fanatic Israel supporter who called on the children of Gaza to starve.
Yeah.
Yes, he complained because he got a call from Laura Loomer, the fanatic troll.
Yeah.
Who couldn't handle pictures of Palestinian children coming here for medical care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and
like congressional offices have also complained about genocide, like Rashida Tlaib. Did that lead to any change in action? No. So this idea, so offices complained, so therefore we had to ban these kids.
Yes. And he, by the way, is so disgusting, Randy Fine, that even AIPAC has disavowed him, which takes a lot.
Yeah, it does. It does. Okay, let's try to get through this clip.
Granted, not just to the children, but how those visas are being granted to the people who are accompanying them. And by the way, to some of the organizations that are facilitating it. There is evidence been presented to us by numerous congressional offices that some of the organizations bragging about and involved in acquiring these visas have strong links to terrorist groups like Hamas.
Okay. It's just such a fanatic lie. He's talking about a group like Heal Palestine. We've interviewed the founder of Heal Palestine on our show. A wonderful guy who's devoted his life to just trying to like help like a very small number of wounded Palestinian children, because he can't help all of them. So a few cases make it here, a handful. And Rubio is smearing him as having links to Hamas and blah, blah, blah. Everything is Hamas. Like Caitlin Johnson had a tweet recently where it's like, everything is Hamas. The air is Hamas. The hospitals are Hamas. Everything is Hamas. Just Hamas, Hamas, Hamas.
And so we are not going to be in partnership with groups that are friendly with Hamas. So we're going to pause those visas. There was just a small number of them issued to children, but they come with adults accompanying them, obviously. And
they come with adults. Yes. Sorry, maimed child. You have to fly by yourself across the world to get medical care, like after going through the trauma of being maimed and just living through the genocide in Gaza, because an adult must be inherently a terrorist in the eyes of Marco Rubio, just a supreme bigot.
What can be said about this? It's just unbelievable, and I hope these people end up in The Hague soon.
We are going to pause this program and reevaluate how those visas are being vetted and what relationship, if any, has there been by these organizations to the process of acquiring those visas. We're not going to be in partnership with groups that have links or sympathies towards Hamas.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio, we have to.
Great job, Margaret Brennan. So, I mean, look, to her credit, unlike everybody else, she asked Marco Rubio about it. So, okay, credit for that, because everyone else was like, Marco Rubio denying visas to maimed children. Yawn. Let's not talk about that. So, okay, at least CBS asked the question. But then he gives that answer, and then the response is, thanks, Secretary Rubio. Yeah. We have to move on. No follow-up? Nothing? Nothing?
Right.
Nothing?
Right. About the blood on his hands, yeah. And also, he never outright says that Palestinian children coming in per se isn't a threat. Like, in other words, it's like he doesn't even say, well, of course the children are we want to welcome in children.
Yeah, no, he's not ruling out that like they're a threat too, because they are a threat in the eyes of Zionists, because their existence is a threat to Israel's quest for a Jewish supremacist ethno state. So therefore, even maimed children are a threat to them, and therefore they not even welcome in the U.S. because now we're inseparable. Today, we are excited to share with you our sponsor, American Giant.
Back in the 1960s, 95% of clothing Americans bought were made in the United States of America. Today, it's only 3%. That's why we're so excited about our sponsor, American Giant. American Giant is about keeping things simple and close to home. They aren't affected by tariffs because their products never leave the U.S. Mega corporations obsessed with growth are churning out cheap stuff from poor materials, leaving working people behind, hollowing out communities, and piling up junkyards. Buy your clothes locally to support jobs in towns that help stitch communities together. Support American-made, tariff-free clothing with American Giant. Get 20% off your first order when you use promo code USEFUL at american-giant.com. That's 20% off when you use code USEFUL at american-giant.com.
Okay, well, listen, let's turn to Congressmember Jason Crow. We've heard from him before. He's a Democrat. Is he going to give a forceful condemnation of this policy of denying medical visas to maimed Palestinian children? Let's see.
And I want to pick up on something. Since you sit on the Intelligence Committee, the Secretary of State just said that lawmakers had come to the Trump administration with information that they've been granting visas to individuals with ties to Hamas or with organizations with ties to Hamas. That's a pretty stunning accusation. Israel controls who enters and exits Gaza. The United States screens all visas. So is there really a blind spot that you are aware of?
I'm not aware of that, but if that's true, actually, that is concerning. That would be a problem. I mean, Hamas is a brutal terrorist organization. They should not be traveling anywhere. So if that's happening, it should be stopped immediately.
Great job, Jason Crow. Really, really good. Let's just embrace Rubio's demented excuse for denying medical visas to Palestinian children by entertaining that it's possibly true.
Right.
If that's happening, we can't accept it. If the child amputee is really tied to Hamas, I mean, what's the point of being in the opposition if you're constantly going to parrot the most demented claims of the people in power?
Yeah, how is that not just just for the sake of optics? Like, how is that not something you would want to disavow? I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like, even though he admits he hasn't seen or heard any evidence confirming this, even though he's a member of the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, still he pretty much blindly accepts this serious statement as fact with barely a moment's thought and reacts as if it's possibly true, like by default.
And, the Intelligence Committee has a role to play in that.
But the Intelligence Committee wasn't behind the information presented to the Secretary of State?
I have not been briefed on that. I have no information about it.
Okay.
Disgusting. That's the opposition?
I have not been briefed on whether or not child amputees maimed in Gaza with our bombs are really Hamas.
Or armed and dangerous, yeah.
But I'm open to the possibility, and I'm very concerned about, okay, great. What can you say? It's so evil. It's so cruel. We're all complicit, all of us who pay taxes to this government, which then ships off the bombs that maims these children, that kills these children. At least more than 18,000 of them. The Washington Post recently put out a list of every known child killed by Israel in Gaza. You just scroll through it; it goes on and on and on. And after every 500th name, the Post says you've now read the names of 3,500 dead Palestinian children. 4,000. It goes on and on and on to more than 18,000. And those that survive now, according to the Trump administration, can't even come here for medical treatment.